my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Arita, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 holistic productivity tips to hopefully help you be a little bit more motivated, a little bit more productive, and also teach you how to listen to your body and find balance within your everyday life. I am just going to add a little disclaimer here and say this is not going to be another one of those hustle culture videos that tend to be really toxic. This is just coming from someone who has previously suffered from burnout, who has worked 3 jobs back to back, who has previously prided themselves on being busy, and who has now realised there needs to be a little bit more balance in life. I personally view productivity as a balancing act between working and taking a break. So in the next 10 or so minutes, I'm going to aim to give you some valuable advice whilst being completely transparent and honest on this topic. Tip number 1, wake up an hour earlier. Now listen, I am not a morning person, okay? I have tried hard to be a morning person, and the only way I have managed to achieve waking up earlier is by going to sleep earlier. It sounds so simple, but for the longest time, I just thought I could survive with less sleep. Everyone else is doing it. Why can't I? But it is so different for every single person. For me, I need 8 hours sleep, and if I don't get 8 hours sleep, I get cranky. I have a dip in the evening or afternoon, and I just am not really thriving. I'm not my best self. So I always aim to have at least 8 hours every single night, and I set myself a wake up time and work backwards. Anyways, back to why you should wake up earlier. In theory, in the morning your brain is most rested, your motivation is high, and you have a lack of distractions, so it's easier to be more productive. One of the best things about completing tasks first thing in the morning is that once you complete an individual task, your brain releases dopamine, which causes positive feelings like happiness, motivation, and pleasure. So by completing tasks first thing in the morning, you are not only setting yourself up for a productive and successful day, but you're actually tricking your brain into being more motivated to continue completing tasks. Another tip I have for waking up early is waking up with a sunrise alarm clock. Honestly, it just changes your mornings. Like, not having that horrible iPhone alarm buzz first thing in the morning is a game changer. So I highly recommend getting yourself a little alarm clock. It will also stop you from going on your phone first thing in the morning, because you're not reaching to turn it off. It's not in your hand already. You don't have any reason to reach for it. You kind of just turn your alarm off and then get up and get things done. I believe reshaping your environment can help you achieve any habit you want, which is leading me on to tip number 2. Organization plus decluttering equals mental clarity. I have said this so many times, you guys. If you have watched any of my previous videos, you will know this one thing is so ingrained in my brain. If my environment is messy, my mind is messy. I need to have everything organized, and then I can get so much done. With me specifically, I work from home 3 days a week, and also I'm here on the weekends, so I basically am at home most of the time. And if my environment is not tidy, I will just spend my time thinking about what I need to do. That I need to tidy the house, I need to empty the dishwasher, I need to put a wash on, I need to make bed, I need to change the bedding. Oh, when was the last time I did that? And that will continue and continue and continue. And honestly, I just wouldn't get anything done. So now I prioritize time in my day, either first thing in the morning or last thing in the evening, just to reset the house and, as some people call it, put the house to sleep. So in the morning when I wake up, it's all just all in its place. From time to time, as you probably know, I do like to do a big decluttering session. This is a little bit more than surface level cleaning. This is pulling things out of drawers, organizing the wardrobe, donating anything I no longer use or want, and just really kind of having the most minimal amount of things. This tip kind of goes hand in hand with designing your environment for habit cues. I was recently reading this book which basically stated that you should design every step of your morning routine to trigger a habit. For example, my most used habit cue is setting my clothes out the night before. This literally triggers my brain first thing when I wake up to put my gym stuff on, and then once I'm in my gym stuff, I kind of have no excuse. Like, I'm already dressed, I might as well just go to the gym. We have now changed location for this one, but we are on tip number 3, structure and planning. Have you ever thought to yourself, my list is absolutely endless and I have no idea how I'm going to achieve it? My top tips when you feel like this is to start a priorities list. So once you have your to-do list, prioritize your tasks into urgent things, things that can wait a little bit longer, or things that you can kind of leave for now. I use Notion for absolutely everything related to planning. It is my planner of choice. I use it for meal planning, for exercise tracking, for vitamin intake tracking, for goal planning, for vision boarding, literally anything you can think of to do with life. I have it on my Notion board. If you haven't recently seen my Notion tour, I highly recommend checking it out. I talk you through how to use Notion, my specific Notion board, and also give you my free template as a download. So if you want to go and check it out, I will link it up above. And I honestly, as I said, swear by it for all things structuring and planning. I would like to note that you don't specifically need to use a digital planner. You can use a physical diary if that's what you feel suits you best. One of my friends uses Grace Beverly's productivity method diary and she swears by it. So just figure out what works best for you and how you best like to plan. I am just quickly going to show you my favorite page on my Notion planner, which is my perfect week. And it is basically a page that I have time blocked in 30-minute segments to show my ideal week. I won't lie to you, most of my weeks don't look like this, but this is ideally what I would like my week on week to look like. If you ever feel overwhelmed with the amount of tasks you have to do, honestly, just sit down and plan and prioritize. That's my biggest tip. Tip number 4, prioritize breaks and rest. This one does kind of sound a little bit counterintuitive, but it is really, really important to note that productivity isn't all about filling every single minute of your day with work. It's about balance. Ensuring you have enough time to recharge and rest is so important for long-term productivity. Here is how I incorporate downtime into my day-to-day life. Firstly, I use scheduled breaks. I tend to work well with having those like Pomodoro timers on that you can find on YouTube that play like really chill jazz lo-fi hop music, and I tend to just put them on, and then when it beeps for me to go take a break, I take a break. It's as simple, you don't even need to do much. The next thing I am trying to prioritize is mindful activities. And that is basically something that is going to completely distract me from work. It could literally be like reading a book, meditating, going for a walk, just something that doesn't involve me working or being on social media. And the last thing I do is have an evening routine. If you haven't seen my recent evening routine, I will link it up above, so go check that out. But that is basically the routine I use to kind of tell my body it's time to rest. Tip number 5 is eliminate distractions. Now listen, at the start of this video I said I'm going to be completely transparent with you, and this is the one tip I need to take myself because I am so bad at getting distracted when I'm trying to be productive. Personally, I work in social media full time, so my day-to-day is spent on a phone. Whether it's my work phone or my personal phone, it's spent on a phone. So I am basically trying to reduce distractions by having limits on apps. And then another big tip I have for this is having a designated work area. This is something I don't have yet. I mean, we did only move here 5 months ago, so I just haven't had the time to fully like set myself up with like a workspace. But I do really want to get like a cute little desk and have my like MacBook and just organise it in a really cute way, and then just know that that is where I get work done. So stay tuned for that. Maybe we'll do a little makeover. And then the last point I have for this tip is try and not multitask. Try and focus on one task at a time, complete it, and then move on, and that way you will honestly get so much more done. And those are my 5 productivity tips. I now do feel like I can find balance between my full-time job and also creating exciting and entertaining videos for you guys, and also spending time with my boyfriend and friends, and most of all just having some time for myself. It's not something that comes naturally, and a lot of work has went into this, and it also fluctuates during different periods of my life. But these are the 5 steps I continuously take to get me out of a slump and make the most out of my productive windows. My biggest tip when it comes to productivity is listen to your body. If you're feeling exhausted, take the foot off the gas for a little bit, recharge, recover, do something that fuels your soul, and then get back into it, and honestly, trust me, you'll feel so much better. I would really love to know your productivity tips. Let me know if there's something you do that I need to implement into my everyday. Make sure to comment down below, and I thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next Sunday with a brand new one. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Bye!